Divide: The Violent Legacy of Indian Partition by William Dalrymple. Partition displaced 15 million people and killed more than a million. In August 1947, when, after 300 years in India, the British finally left, the subcontinent was partitioned into two independent nation-states, Hindu majority India and Muslim majority Pakistan. Immediately, there began one of the greatest migrations in human history as millions of Muslims trekked to West and East Pakistan, the latter now known as Bangladesh, while millions of Hindus and Sikhs headed in the opposite direction. Many hundreds of thousands never made it. Across the Indian subcontinent, communities that had coexisted for almost a millennium attacked each other in a terrifying outbreak of sectarian violence, with Hindus and Sikhs on one side and Muslims on the other. A mutual genocide as unexpected as it was unprecedented in Punjab.
When we talk about partition in today's picture, we only remember that violence which occurred in and across that time. Total number of lives, approximately 2 million lives were lost in this violence in both the sides of the border. These are priceless lives, people who were not able to save their families, people who were not able to save their children, people who were not able to save their own parents. This hostility gave the birth of one of the biggest elements which is still driving these two countries, and that is suspicion, and suspicion. And this is the biggest ingredient. Even after 50 years of independence, that we are still fighting with our neighboring country, Pakistan.
So today I am going to tell about the 9 shocking facts about the partition that event in Indians must know about this fact. This is told by Pora Sodhi Jasi, and let's talk about it. Okay, let's know the fact how our India have gone through the partition of Bengal. So the partition of India and Pakistan was perhaps one of the most heartbreaking event of history. Many lives were uprooted and many lost. It repels are still felt every day in our culture, in our movies and in our books, and many of us in our personal lives as well. We bring some shocking facts about the making of two countries which are always meant to stay together.
In Punjab and Bengal provinces abutting India's borders with West and East Pakistan respectively, the carnage was especially intense, with massacres, arson, forced conversions, mass abductions and savage sexual violence. Some 75,000 women were raped and many of them were then disfigured or dismembered.
The partition of India has been outlined in the Constitution of India as the dissolution of the British Raj, the dissolution of the Crown Raj or the Crown rule. And this partition was not only a division of the total land area, it also had a partition on the railways, it also had a partition on the central treasury, and it also had a partition on the civil service.
Nishid Hazari in Midnight's Furies. His fast-paced new narrative history of partition and its aftermath writes gangs of killers set whole villages aflame, hacking to death men and children and the aged while carrying off young women to be raped. Some British soldiers and journalists who had witnessed the Nazi death camps claimed partition's brutalities were worse. Pregnant women had their breasts cut off and babies hacked out of their bellies. Infants were found literally roasted on spits. By 1948, as the Great Migration drew to a close, more than 15 million people had been uprooted and between 1 and 2 million were dead. The comparison with the death camps is not so far-fetched as it may seem.
Sybil Radcliffe and the man who designed the border between two countries arrived in India only for few days before the partition and had no knowledge about anything except the geographical layout of the country. And in ignorance, he divided the country without any consideration of religious and cultural communities. In this ignorance, he divided the country without any consideration of religion and cultural communications, causing a rift between Hindus and Muslims.
Now, this partition was outlined in the Indian Independence Act of 1947. In the middle of the night, 15th of August 1947, two countries came into existence legally, and one of them is the Islamic State of Pakistan and the other one is the Republic of India. And this partition was not only the division of land, it was also affecting the railways, the civil services and the central treasury. And to be very honest, this is the partition which is the reason behind the displacement of around 10 to 20 million people in both sides of the border, and that is on the basis of religion mainly. Huge amount of looting started in and across the areas where the refugees were staying or where the refugees were relocated. Some people saved their lives, some were not able to save their lives. Some people saved their families, some were not able to save their family. And that has happened mainly in the areas of Punjab and Bengal. And this is how this story of independence has shaped the history and the complete geography of this region.
Mukherjee also won over jurists of Calcutta High Court to support the movement, and nearly all the Bengali Hindu lawyers signed a petition demanding the partition of Bengal. Hindu business people and Chamber of Commerce, including the legendary Ghanshyam Das Birla, also rooted for the demand. Mukherjee's efforts gave results, and on June 3rd, Lord Mountbatten declared that Bengal would be partitioned. On 20th June 1947, all legislatures of Bengal Legislative Assembly from Hindu majority areas of the province voted for the partition of Bengal and creation a separate homeland of Bengali Hindus.
So we would like to thank you for hearing us, and we would just request you once again to go ahead and share it as much as you can, and you can guys go ahead and view it. We would love to take your feedbacks, guys, because that is one of the valuable things. We have the Facebook channel, Facebook group over there with the Shyama Prasad Enlightenment Federation. We have the YouTube channel with the national icon. We are on the Instagram also. So guys, we just want your cooperation with us at this part of time, because resources are very less. However, we know that we need to improve a lot, but it will take certain time. So we would definitely say beg us for this, or pardon us for this time, and support us so that we can make more beautiful videos. So that's all from my end, guys. Thank you so much for today. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.